Oh wow, that's the life, eh? Huh. Looks like my supervisor has bailed on me. Hey folks, Ray from LoveYourRV.com here again. I'm just working on a project. I had done a review on this Lensun solar panel, flexible solar panel, a little while back, and I had said I was going to make myself up a portable ground panel out of it. So just in the process of that, thought I'd show you how I'm doing so far. I decided instead of using the solar wiring to hook it up, I'd get myself an actual 30 amp RV cord, which is a 10 gauge, and wire that in instead. It's basically because it has a lot of nice weights, it'll sit flat. Because if you remember, I wanted to put it into my truck and mount it on my storage box. So I'm sort of been working on that. What I decided to do was get myself a 3/4 inch piece of really good plywood, and to protect that I've picked up some of this deck coating, sort of deck over, that's kind of that walk-on deck coating, and I've got myself all painted up with that. That'll protect it from the elements. So to mount it on my toolbox, it's going to mount on that middle toolbox there, the black one. It's going to go right on top of that. So my grand plan is I'm going to put it on that, and these rings here that I've mounted already with screws, they're going to hook up to some strapping. I've already got them placed underneath the toolbox there, and I'll be able to ratchet that up and tighten it right on top. Now, so that somebody doesn't just take it, you know, steal it, and also to hold it down a little better, I'm going to take another set of these and I'm going to mount them on the board here. And then what I'll do is on the top of that toolbox, I'll cut two little slits, so when the board sits on top of it, those will go through the plastic, and then on the other side of the plastic I'll put a couple of these in there, so if some thief comes along and they try to lift it up, they won't be able to get it off. At least keep the honest folks from stealing it. I'm sure if someone really wants it, they're going to take it. But so to mount that panel, what I'm going to do is once this deck coat is all dried up, I'm going to put silicone underneath it. So I'm going to silicone it on top with clear silicone and run a bead all around it. Also put some bolts through these grommets here to hold it down so it won't go anywhere. So yeah, and then what this will do is I'll simply plug this into the female of that, and that's going to run into my front compartment where my solar controller is. So I'll be able to be charging with solar while I'm driving. When I stop, I can pop that panel off of the toolbox, and it'll be on this nice heavy piece of plywood, so I can lay that on the ground or tilt it. I'm thinking I might come up with some type of tilt brackets for the back of it, but in the meantime I'll probably just lean it against my water jug or something. So I'll continue on and see how I do. Kind of winging it here, planning as I go, but I think I got a good plan together. Okay, so beautiful morning. So I'm going to continue on in my project. Now I'm going to take some silicone sealant, clear is just 100% silicone, and apply it to the back of the panel and my my mounting board, and put it on there. Still going to use the holes to mount it, but the silicone hopefully will keep it sealed on there, because it's going to ride in the back of the pickup, so if any wind's coming along and I just use the holes, it'll probably start to flap around. So I'm also going to seal it up with silicone, keep it in place. Okay, things are proceeding. I've got the solar panel mounted onto the plywood board, and got my wiring all connected up here. And see, I added this just to take the tension off these wires so they don't pull out of the junction box, so if it gets pulled on, it'll restrain the wires. And you can see I've cut up my 30 amp RV power cord. So I used this because it made a nice simple package, and it's got 10 gauge wire in it. And I can also double, because I only need two lines, I can double one up, so that'll even have a thicker gauge on one run of the line. So yeah, that's how it's going to work. See, I'll be able to plug it in. Nice good solid connection. This is going to live just under the hitch. Gonna wire that there. I was looking at how to get it into my front bay where my charge controller is, and there really didn't seem to be any way to get it from the hitch into that front storage bay. I ripped apart behind the bed and all inside. I was looking where I could run it. It was going to be a real pain, so I've decided to actually drill a hole in the front fiberglass there, so it'll come straight from the hitch. I'll have a couple wire hangers underneath. There's already screws there that's holding the fiberglass underneath. So I've picked up what they call a cable clamp. It's used a lot in boating to put wires through the hull. So it's an interesting little device. This little rubber thing in there. Basically, you drill out that rubber and then put a slit in it, and it's kind of like a compression seal. And that should work out good. Then I can go straight through into that compartment, and I can wire it into my charge controller. So that's my next job. You can see I lost my truck. Well, Anne's truck actually. She's taking it out for some boating. Beautiful day here in Campbell River, so she's gone. Oh well, got lots to do here, so keep myself busy puttering. Okay, project completed. Give you a look at it here. So there's my board with the solar panel all mounted on, and you can see it's mounted on my box here. I'll open it up and show you inside. I use a couple of waterproof locks to keep people out of the toolbox. Undo them. I'll lift that up. Oh, first I gotta undo my strap. So there, I've got this type of straps holding it down. There we go. So there's the lid up. You can see I just put some bungee cords in there. I think that'll be enough. If someone tries to pull on that, they're going to have a hard time lifting that off. Also helps keep it held down. There we go. And let's go over and show you the connection here. Goes down, hooked on here. So when I'm traveling, I'll bungee that, or use some Velcro to clamp all that up to the strap. And then here's my long cord. So that will plug into my hitch when I'm driving. And let's go over and show you how I finished that up. Yeah, here's my trailer pin box. So on the back here, I've attached it with a clamp here, and then there's the female. So that'll be hooked up when I'm driving. When parked and not using it, I can always just tuck it away in there. And along here, added a few ring connectors. These screws were already here holding this fiberglass up. Down here, follow it there. There's that clamp cam. That's the Blue Sea. So that's a super waterproof connection. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty professional. Much better than a big blob of caulking or something. So let's open up the inside, take you in there. There we go. Try not to let that fall on my head. So around here, this is where it comes on the inside, through the fiberglass and through this wood. So this went straight across. There's my pool noodle. And then just use some clamping to hold it in place. More over there. Dressed it over to my charge controller. That's my Bogart 2030 SC2030 charge controller that I'm wiring it into. I've installed this 40 amp circuit breaker, so all my panels go into that right in here, and then they come out of that and go into the positive side of the charge controller, and then all the negatives go into the negative side. So all the panels are wired in parallel. I haven't installed fuses. You're supposed to install a fuse for each panel, just in case one of the panels develops to short. All the other panels could be feeding that short, so that's something I'll probably have to do. So that's the right way to do it anyway, is to fuse. Once you get up to start getting up over 3 panels, I think, yeah, 3 panels, you have to start fusing each panel. So hopefully I can find myself a decent inline fuse to use, because the last thing I want to do is put a bunch of fuses in there that develop bad connections and lose power. So anyway, there we go, looking good. Okay, so next I'll pop that panel off and lay it on the ground like I'm going to do when I'm boondocking. Woohoo! Looking good, looking good. So you can see this was my idea here. Got lots of cable there. And I'm just propping it up with a water jug. I got a couple of water jugs to be able to adjust that. I don't think that's going to go anywhere. It took a big windstorm to do anything with that, but I may put a bracket on the back for tilting. Okay, so I'll go in and see. It's kind of cloudy today. We'll see how much solar that panel is adding in full sun. I got the other ones up there. If you haven't seen before, on the top of the Cougar, I don't know if you can see that. There's 4 panels up there. There we go. Oh yeah, that's awesome. So you can see I'm putting about 27 amps in there. A little bit of shade coming from the cloud, but yeah, that's wicked. And my charge controller is a 30 amp charge controller, so I'm really using it to its capacity. Well, there we go, back on the truck. Doesn't take any time at all. Wicked. So yeah, I don't even have to pull it off and tilt it if I don't want to. It'll produce energy just sitting on the truck bed like that if I'm parked. There we go, another project done. I think it's next we're going to tackle the plumbing upgrade and try to get that Wastemaster storage box hooked on there. So until next time, it's Ray from LoveYourRV.com. Having a great summer here in beautiful British Columbia. Take it easy. Cheers.